Morning, folks. Welcome in, folks. I'm talking about the Burn Pit Act that was denied for the veterans, folks. What a disgrace. The Burn Pit Act. Yes, the Burn Pit Act, folks. It's a disgrace. The way these veterans have been treated over decades, folks. But before I get into this, I want to use copyright claim 107 for educational purposes only. Copyright claim 107 for educational use only. Fair use, folks. I'm going to show you a clip. Copyright claim 107 for educational uses and purposes only. Fair use. Yes, fair use, folks.
Support veterans. If you vote no on this bill, you do not support veterans. Susan Zier, mother-in-law of the late Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, one of hundreds of veterans advocates asking one simple question of Republicans today. Why? Only hours after Democrats had struck a deal on reconciliation, Senate Republicans torpedoed what's called the PACT Act. The measure expands health care for millions of long-suffering veterans exposed to burn pits overseas. Senate Republicans insist they had no choice, alleging the funding would quickly become a slush fund. A suggestion that prompted profane fury today from veterans advocate Jon Stewart.
July truckload of savings at American Freight Furniture Mattresses.
See, they denied these veterans a lot of things that they need. Like I said, these veterans have been mistreated for decades, folks. And like I said before, they was okay with this bill about a week ago, the Burn Pit Acts, because a lot of these veterans are suffering, man. They're suffering. Chemical warfare and all this type of stuff, man. They suffer from chemicals. Some of them have cancer in the brain. Some of them have tumors in their brain. A lot of these veterans are going through it, folks. And then the folks, they're not gonna, they turn around and not say they're not gonna pass this bill, man. I give the veterans the utmost respect, folks. They go out here and fight for their country. And this is the appreciation they get in return. No, it don't work that way. It doesn't work like that. We need to start respecting our veterans more than what we're doing, man. But the Congress and the government, they don't want to pass this bill, man. And I think it's totally wrong, folks. Those veterans, they go out there and risk their lives, man. Some of them come back all messed up, brothers and sisters. Come back with no legs, no arms. They have been exposed to all types of things. Agent Orange. They're suffering with mental disabilities, brain cancer, all types of things, man. And I feel, I feel bad for these veterans, man, because it's like they always be mistreated, man, all the time, folks. all the time. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm talking about our veterans, folks. They should get more respect than what they're getting, folks. And not, like I said, they don't want to pass this bill. For what reason, I don't know. But I think it's a disgrace, folks. I'm going to show y'all a clip, though. Just hold tight. Because, you know, a lot of this stuff, it's crazy, man. You go out here and risk your life fighting for your country. And this is the appreciation that you get in return, you know. This is the appreciation you get from your government, you know, your so-called government. See, the government been doing these people wrong for decades, man. They never want to give anything to our veterans out here, man. I don't understand it. You know, it's just, it's senseless. And, you know, and like I said, these guys, they go out here and risk their lives, folks, to fight for their country. And this is the kind of treatment that they get. I mean, we have to stand up for these people. We have to back up these veterans, folks. We have to back these veterans up, man, because nobody's standing up for them. Nobody, man.
Memory is full.
Yeah, nobody's standing up for them. And like I said, the government just played a trick on them. Like I said, last week, they was okay with the bill. Turn around this week, they denied passing the bill. The Burn Pits Act. That's the name of it. The Burn Pits Act. You know, and I think they should help these veterans, man. Like I said, these veterans, they go out here and risk their lives, man, fighting for their country. But this is America. This is how America treats you, man. They treat you like nothing. You know, when you go out here and risk your life, go out there and lose your limbs, come back home with all types of brain damage. You know, these veterans have been exposed to so many different types of chemicals, folks. You know, every guy that I know who's been, you know, served in the military, 9 times out of 10, one of them going to come back messed up, man. And then, you know, then the government don't want to help these folks, man. They don't want to help these folks. We got to stand behind these veterans, folks. We have to stand behind them, folks. Welcome in, Cynthia Turner. I see you, Bud Fowles. Thanks for coming in, folks. Yeah, we have to, you know, we're going to have to stand behind our veterans, folks. Because this government, I just don't know what to say about this government, man. Because, they're going to be exposed, though, because what they did on this Burn Pit Act. From what I heard a week ago, they was okay with this. They was thinking about passing the bill. So come back this week, they changed their mind. They said they changed their minds, man. This is what they said. And I think our veterans should get the utmost respect in this world, man. Because they go out here, they risk their lives, they're away from their families. You know, they go out here and fight for their country. Then they come back on this soil to be treated like dirt, man. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, folks. That's just the bottom line. It doesn't make sense. And, you know, like I said, we're going to have to stand behind these veterans, man, because the things that's going on is just not right, man. Just not right. Doesn't look right at all. Doesn't look right. And folks, you know, I'm asking all of y'all, you know, let's stand behind these people, man. Because these people have risked their lives, man. They have risked their lives out here. I've seen a lot of veterans, man, out here homeless on the street. Man, this should not be, man. And then turn around, they don't want to pass this bill, man. I don't get this. Where is the love, man? You know, they should care something about these veterans, man. You know, the way they go out here and risk their lives. being away from their families for years. Then they come back on this soil to be treated like scum. Yeah. I mean, the veterans that I know, man, they have to go through so much, man, to get anything that they need to help them, man. They have to go through a lot of things, man. A lot of things, and it doesn't make sense, man. It really doesn't. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you coming in. Cynthia Turner, I see you, Miss Cynthia Turner here said, my sister husband died from a brain disease he contracted from being Desert Storm. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These guys, they got here, risked their lives for our country, and this is how they get treated in the end. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's not right. It just doesn't make sense. And I think everybody should stand behind these people, man. We should fight against this, man. They need to pass this bill, folks. They definitely need to pass this bill. Yes, we need to stand behind these veterans, folks. I really mean that. We need to stand behind them 100%. The burn pit axe exposed. Yes, we need to stand behind them 100%, folks. Because like I said, these guys have been exposed to so many chemicals, man. You know, some of them come back home, they suffer with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and all types of things, man. From being in that, being in that war, man. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. They suffer from all types of things, man. It's crazy.
I used to pay $162 every month
I
for
want
my
to show
car
y'all a clip.
insurance.
I mean, this stuff doesn't make any sense, folks. It just doesn't make no kind of sense for our veterans to be treated this way, man. I give the veterans the utmost respect, especially when they go out here and risk their lives, man.
Right when you're about to make a law that's gonna save lives.
I'm going to show y'all a short clip, folks.
Burn Pit Bill, which is meant to help veterans exposed to toxins while serving our country, something that previously had bipartisan support. Here's CBS's David Martin.
This is total BS. How do you change your mind right when you're about to make a law that's gonna
right.
save lives?
They changed
This
their
was
mind,
intended to
man.
be a celebration of the final passage of legislation funding medical coverage for ailing veterans exposed to military toxic waste pits. Instead, the failed Senate vote triggered a profanity-laced tirade that included celebrity Jon Stewart.
They haven't met a veteran they won't screw over. What the are we?
Retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Dan Brewer has been warning about the hazards of burn pits ever since he went to Iraq in 2005 as an environmental engineer.
I was just overwhelmed by what I saw. I saw medical waste syringes and vials and burnt rubber and exploded aerosol cans.
And what was your concern about them?
These are carcinogens and things that you should never be burning like this in an open pit.
At some of the bigger bases, the U.S. eventually installed incinerators with stacks which carried the toxic fumes away from troops. But not in time for Army Reservist Leroy Torres.
I lived approximately within 1 mile from the burn pit. Was in constant use. That operated 24/7.
After a year in Iraq, Torres returned to his civilian job as a Texas state trooper. But the damage was done.
10 years later, I was diagnosed with a toxic brain injury.
He needs supplemental oxygen and suffers from a respiratory condition called constrictive bronchitis, which cost him both his military and
These guys
civilian
are suffering
jobs.
from a lot of
Almost lost
diseases,
our house.
man.
We exhausted our life savings. It put us in a very dark place.
Torres keeps a gallery of service members who have already
That's
died
good.
from
Thank y'all.
diseases linked to burn pits.
Thank y'all, folks, for coming in
Now,
and
says one
listening.
of the bill's sponsors,
Yes,
this delay will
this needs to be
cause
heard, folks.
There are going to be veterans die between now and when this bill passes.
Add veterans health care to the list of bitter divisions between Democrats and Republicans. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
See, this is what these guys are going through, folks. This is what they're going through. This type of foolishness. And I don't understand why the government changed their mind on passing this bill. You see these guys, they're laying around. Some of them are dying. Some of them are half sick. Man, you know, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't, man. Like I said, we're going to have to back these guys up, man. We're going to have to stand behind our military, folks, and our veterans. Because like I said, they went out here, they risked their lives, man. They didn't have to do that. But then they come back on this American soil and get treated like pure scum and pure dirt, man. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any kind of sense. True Mama, I see you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, this is a very touchy situation, you know. Very touchy. You know, especially when somebody's out here risking their lives for your country. It's a very touchy situation. This is how your government treats you. After you go out and risk your life and fight for your country, this is how they treat you, folks. Treat you like smut. You know, they don't want to give these veterans anything, man. And that's real, man. They don't want to give them anything. Nothing at all. We
Would you be interested in collecting
Not a
5
thing.
figure paychecks for a few hours of work, helping you in your spare time from home?
His
Like I
name
said,
was Heath
we got to
Robinson.
stand
He
behind
was
these
a
folks,
father,
man. We got to stand behind
soldier,
them.
and a fitness fanatic. In an interview with the Columbus Dispatch a few years ago, he told the paper that at his peak, he could bench press 315 pounds, squat 400, and run 2
This is what
miles in
these
under
veterans are
12
going through,
minutes.
folks.
He was twice named Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year by the Ohio Army National Guard for his physical
They're suffering
prowess.
from all
In
types of diseases,
2017,
man.
Sergeant First Class
From being
Heath
in that war,
Robinson
man.
was training
But
for a
then when they
half
come
marathon
home, this is
when
what
he
they
began
get.
to feel weak and tired. A month later, he got devastating news.
We got to
He had
stand
lung
behind our
cancer
veterans,
that had
folks.
already spread to his
I
bones
thank everybody
and
for coming
elsewhere.
in. Thank you, folks.
Doctors gave him 4
I'll
to 8
read
weeks
the
to
comments
live.
later.
Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson held on much longer than that, but in May of 2020, he died. How did a healthy man contract such a serious cancer seemingly out of nowhere? His family believes it was from burn pits, toxic piles of flaming waste that Heath was exposed to during his time serving in
The
Iraq.
stuff these guys
And his
exposed
death
to.
was on a rare, isolated case. An estimated 3.5 million veterans have been exposed to toxic substances like burn pits since the September the 11th attacks. Which is
Yeah.
why Congress
Like I said,
decided to
folks,
do
we have to stand
something
behind
to
these
help
guys,
those
man.
veterans.
Our
Legislation
veterans, we have
giving
to
them
stand
access
behind them,
to the
folks.
health care and support they desperately need.
Yeah,
The
like I
bill
said,
was
the
called
government, they
Sergeant
don't want
First
to pass
Class
that bill.
Heath Robinson Honoring Our Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act. An early version of the bill to help these veterans passed the Senate earlier this year with overwhelming bipartisan support. The vote was 84 to 14. The Senate was supposed to take a procedural vote on that legislation last night, with final
They're
passage
exposed
slated
to
for
all
the
its
end of the
toxicity,
week. But then
folks.
Democrats announced that they had
But
struck
no
a
one wants
surprise
to help
deal
them.
on a big
We have to
budget
stand
package
behind
of
our
climate,
veterans,
health
folks.
care, and tax policies. And that made Republicans angry. A win
This is
for
a
Joe
serious
Biden's
matter,
agenda,
folks.
not on their watch. So apparently, they took revenge. So Senate Republicans, members of a
These are
party
the
which
guys
love to wave
fighting
the
for our
flag and
country, you know.
say they support the troops,
They
seem
fought
to
our
take their
country.
frustrations out about the advance of Joe Biden's agenda on sick and ailing veterans. They blocked that bill.
But now
to
everybody
help
want to turn a
veterans
blind eye,
affected
you
by
know?
toxic
That's how it
burn
is in this
pits.
world.
Today at a press conference outside the Capitol, Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson's mother-in-law took the podium in her late son-in-law's army jacket to offer her thoughts on the Republicans' brave stance against veterans.
Senator Toomey, Senator Rob Portman he's senator. Voted no. They voted against my family. They voted for all of us to suffer. Every single one has pictures
Welcome in,
with
Justin. I
veterans
see
on
you,
their
Miss T.
Facebook pages, on their websites. Well, screw that. They don't support veterans. If you vote no on this bill, you do not support veterans. I'm done. And the next time I come back here, it better be to sign the damn bill at the White House. Because I'm sick and tired of this bull.
These people are angry, man. They should be angry.
Standing alongside Heath Robinson's mother-in-law at that
They
press
should be
conference
angry.
is a face you might
They shouldn't be
recognize.
treating our veterans like
Comedian
this,
Jon
folks.
Stewart, who has used his platform and fame to push for a
should be
number
angry.
of veterans' health bills, and he turned up on Capitol Hill today to call out the GOP senators voting against that bill.
But this is what our veterans have to
I'm
go
used to
through,
the
folks.
lies.
We got to
I'm
stand
used to the
behind them.
hypocrisy. I'm used to the cowardice. I've been here a long time. Senate's where accountability goes to die. These people don't care. I'm used to all
Right,
of it.
they don't care.
But I am not used to the cruelty. Cowards, all of them.
Welcome in, everybody.
Cowards, all
Appreciate
of them.
you, folks.
They haven't met a war they won't sign up for,
This is
and
some
they
content
haven't
that
met
need
a
to be heard,
veteran
folks.
they won't screw over. What the
Thank you for coming in.
are we? This is an embarrassment to the Senate,
Thank you.
to
Thank
the
you, folks.
country, to the
on
founders,
in.
and all that they
This
profess to
is a
hold
subject
dear.
that need to be heard, folks.
And if this is America first, then America is
I agree.
Joining us now in
You
his
know,
car
they turned their
parked
backs
at
on
a
the
rest area
veterans,
on the
folks.
Jersey Turnpike is Jon
They
Stewart,
have turned
comedian,
their backs
activist,
on our
and host
veterans.
of The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV+. Jon has done incredible coverage of burn pit exposure on his show, and he's kind
These
enough to
burn
join
pit
us tonight on his way home from
exposures.
Washington. Jon, thank you so much for being here.
There's so much
I
toxic
said
waste, man,
that was a
that these guys are
retaliatory move by
inhaling,
Republicans.
being
Other news
exposed
outlets
to.
have reported the same. The
Then they
Republicans say
come
they're only
back
taking
home with
issue with
brain
one small
damage,
part of the bill.
all types of
Can
stuff,
you
brain
explain to our
cancer.
viewers what their argument is and whether you think it makes sense?
Yes.
So I don't know anything about the retaliation part. What I do know is this is the same bill that they passed 84-14 on June 16th.
This is serious
the small
stuff,
fix
folks.
that needed to be done in the House was a procedural one based on a really non-material clause that was put in. There was one sentence about rural VA, the VA being able to take over rural medical practices so that veterans who live far away from VA facilities could still have access.
They don't want to
It
do
was a
anything for
very
these
small
guys.
provision.
It's
It
a
was
crying
placed in there
shame,
by
folks.
the VA.
But
There
this
was
is
a
the world we're
constitutional
living in.
issue with it from the House parliamentarian, I guess. So the House went back and fixed it, put it back to the House, got 90 more Republican
Yes, sir.
votes
This
for
is
it
what
than they got the
this is what
first
we're
time.
dealing with.
And the Senate was just supposed to rubber stamp it because it's pretty much the exact same bill that they voted overwhelmingly for on June 16th. The issue arose when Senator Pat Toomey, Patriot Pat,
Yeah, folks, this is what we're dealing with. They're screwing our veterans. They changed their mind about passing this bill, about these burn pits. These guys have been exposed to all types of toxicity, folks. And now the government do not want to help them. This is totally wrong, folks. It's totally wrong. Miss T with the T, I see you. Thank you for coming in. ASTNEG Gala, welcome for coming in. Yes, this is what we're going through, folks. We do not want to help these veterans out here. When I think the government, they were saying last week that they was all for this, passing this bill. Then they came back and said they changed their mind about passing the bill, man. What does that sound like to you? Tell me, please. You know, I think this government is screwed up, man. They have been screwing up bad, man, lately. It's like they're all for themselves, man, this government. And like I said before, the Republicans, Democrats, they all working together, folks. There's not no separatism about it. But a lot of people believe that it's a left and a right, but no, they all put this stuff together. Like I said, I'm going to stand behind these veterans, man. I'm going to stand behind them 100%. Because this stuff is not right, man. It's not right. These guys go out here and risk their lives, man, and be exposed to all this foolishness out here, all this toxic waste. Then they come back, they all messed up. Brains messed up. Respiratory diseases and all this type of stuff, man. They can't breathe, man. All kinds of, they're dealing with all kinds of situations, man. our veterans, man. You know, then this weak government we got, they don't want to help nobody, man. Come on, man. This doesn't make sense. We have to stand behind these people. Welcome in, Justin. I see you. Yeah, they don't want to stand behind. You know, they don't want to help nobody, man. They want to help themselves. This is what it's all about. And I think the government, you know, should back these people up 100%, folks. Like I said, these folks been out here risking their lives. You know, they're going overseas fighting for their country. Then they come back to this soil to get treated like dirt, man. It doesn't make sense, folks. We have to stand behind these people 100%. I'm down with it, folks. I don't know about nobody else, but I'm down with it. Yeah, I'm down with this, man. Because we got a no good government, man. You see how they treating these folks, man. It's not right, man. You know, sometimes when I look at some of these veterans, man, you know, it makes me want to cry, man. It makes me want to cry. And I'm gonna tell you something, though. Not one veteran should be laying around out on the street homeless. Not one should be out on that street homeless, man. But this is the type of stuff that we're seeing. They won't even help these folks, man. After they done went out of here and fought for their country, man. Risked their lives, folks. This is what we get in the world that we're living in right now. This is what we get, folks. Yes, indeed. Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate everybody for coming and listening to this. This is something that needs to be heard, man. Something that needs to be spoke about. Yes, it needs to be talked about. And it needs to be rethought over, man. They need to go ahead and pass this bill, man. They need to go ahead and pass this bill. It just go to show you how much the government care about the people who are out there risking their lives for this country. It go to show you what type of government that you're dealing with, folks. Yes, it goes to show you. Yes. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Cynthia Turner, I see you. Yeah, man, they need to do something about this. They need to overturn this bill. Really, because this is not right, man. One thing about me, I give the veterans the utmost respect, folks. I give them the utmost respect. Especially they go out here and fight for their country. They get the utmost respect from me. I don't know about nobody else. I'm speaking for me. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Burn, pack, exposed. Yeah, man, these people are going through a lot of things, man. I mean, these guys have, you know, they have suffered from so many diseases, man, from being exposed to these things, man. This stuff doesn't make sense, folks.
Registration is closing soon for drivers with no DUIs.
I'm going to show you another short clip, folks. What they was exposed to, folks.
Dr. Bernard here. Proceeds from this video will be donated to burn pits.
Yeah, these guys have been exposed to a lot of things, man. Yes, a lot of things.
Current and former U.S. military personnel. If you'd like to donate with me, I've included a link to their website that is just be breathing in smoke, but also particulate matter, tar, industrial chemicals, heavy metals, gasoline, and jet fuel itself. And at the time, it may not have fully registered in the minds of leadership that bad things may happen in those soldiers' bodies later in life because of this exposure. While she was in
Yes, this is what they're dealing with, folks.
KT was exposed to this burn.
We all
noticed that there was particulate matter in the air and that it was in our air conditioning filters. It was something we joked about. It was something we said was
This is what they're
gross,
dealing
but
with.
we didn't think more about it than that.
KT's primary care doctor was aware of her deployment and previous burn pit exposure. Breathing in toxic burn garbage might not only cause immediate illness, but more and more evidence shows now that the chemicals observed from those burn pits have been linked to long-term damage. And people who otherwise had no risk factors to develop these health issues are now developing them. KT's primary care doctor referred her to get a mammogram, an X-ray of the breasts, to check for early signs
This
of
is what they're
cancer
dealing with,
because
folks.
of her prior burn pit exposure. At 38 years old and feeling great, KT thought there was no point. Her son was 3 years old and her family life was going well. And her post-military career as a tenure-track professor was going well. And so she skipped her appointment for the mammogram.
I thought it was unnecessary because of my age, but also because I felt wonderful. I didn't have any symptoms of breast cancer. I didn't have any history of it in my family.
This is what our veterans are going through,
I just
folks,
truly
from
wasn't
being
concerned about
exposed
the issue.
to
I
these
didn't
burn
realize
pits.
at that time how high the incidence rate of breast
And now the
cancer
government
in the
don't want to pass that
military
bill.
is. I didn't know that I was at risk.
But at the reschedule, just
It's
a couple
outrageous,
weeks
folks.
later, KT did
We should be mad. We should be upset about
Something
this,
showed
man.
up on the images.
These are the
Doctors
folks
looked deeper, and a breast MRI
that's fighting for their
revealed
country
not
out
only
here.
a large tumor, but also smaller tumors.
They should have the
next
best
to it.
treatment in the world,
Meaning,
folks.
Primary care was right. KT did have breast cancer. Based on the images and physical tumor samples collected at this
People come
point,
back with
it
all
looked like
types of
KT had
diseases, man.
stage 2B
All types.
cancer,
From
meaning
being
it may not have
exposed
been
to
too
these burn
advanced.
pits.
They caught it early, and that makes sense because she was only 38 years old. Younger people don't typically have advanced
They get exposed
cancer,
to
so
all type of situations, folks. Yes, all types of situations. But nobody cares, man. I care. Yes, I care. And I'm going to stand behind these soldiers, man. These veterans. I'm going to stand behind them. 100%. Whatever I can do, I'm going to try to do.
She tried to make it believe that her cancer was surface-free. Had she not been right
Like I
next
said,
to
it doesn't make sense.
garbage 24 hours a day, 7
Doesn't
days
make
a week
sense.
in 2005, it's probably right.
Yes.
2 oncologists who specialize in breast cancer treatment agreed with this.
This is
Letters
ridiculous.
supporting her claim.
It shouldn't be,
A few
folks.
years earlier, the registry was established for
Shouldn't be.
veterans to place their name on a list to indicate that they were exposed to burn pits.
These burn pits are very dangerous, folks. But this is what our veterans are dealing with out here. They're popping up with all types of diseases, all types of brain tumors, all types of brain cancers, and they can't get no help from this sorry government, man. This government has turned their backs on our veterans, folks. They have turned their backs on our veterans. Like I said, our veterans should have the utmost respect in this world. But sadly to say, it doesn't seem that way to me. Sadly to say, folks. It's like I said, these folks, these veterans, they have been exposed to so much, man, so much toxic waste from these burn pits. These burn pits are very dangerous, folks. When you get off this live, look it up. Look it up what I'm talking about the burn pits. All you have to do is Google it. When you get off here, Google it, man. These burn pits are dangerous. It has a lot of toxicity in it, man. And this stuff has been exposed to these people, man. And our veterans, man, they're going through it right now, man. They're going through it, folks. Yes, they're going through it. Now the government said they changed their mind about passing the bill. Isn't this some stuff? Changed their mind, huh? So they can just change their mind to affect somebody else's life. You understand? See, they make decisions that affects other people's lives, man. You know, they don't care whether you live or die, man. This is the way it looked to me. They don't even care, man. It's like they could care less, folks. And it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. Because like I said, these people have went out here and risked their lives I mean, they should be compensated for that, man. I think they should be compensated for it, man, because the veterans, man, like I said, they should have the utmost respect from every one of us, y'all. But they've been exposed to these things, man, these burn pits. And these burn pits are very, very dangerous, folks. Very dangerous. Because the government told them, I mean, last week, they was all for this, passing this bill, the Burn Act, the Burn Pit Act. They was all for this, but now they changed their mind this week. They don't want to pass the bill. This is not right. This is not right at all, folks. Do you know these people went out here and risked their lives fighting for their country? Then they come back to this soil to be treated like scum. You know, my heart goes out to these veterans, man. I've seen a lot of them, man. Sometimes when I go to these veteran hospitals, I mean, people, some of them have no limbs, some of them have no legs, no arms, some of them got terminal brain cancer, everything. They're suffering from everything under the sun, man, from being exposed to this mess, man. Now our government they don't want to pass this bill. They changed this is what they said. They changed their mind. This is what they said, folks. They changed their mind. Now, how can you change your mind on a decision? It might be an effect to someone's life. How can you change your mind on something like that? You know, this is very powerful when a person can make a decision that can make your life or change your life. This is very powerful, man. This is the type of power that the government has, man. And sometimes they don't use it in the right way, man. They don't use it in the right way, especially when they're dealing with our veterans, folks. They do not use it in the right way. Welcome in, Khadijah Reeves. I see you. Yes, they don't use it in the right way, man. This government should rethink this, man, and they should go ahead and pass that bill. Because our government, our veterans, man, they have done a lot for us, man. But this is what happens. They don't get no respect, man. No respect whatsoever from our government. This is how they get treated. But I'm going to show y'all one more short clip in a few minutes. Yeah, this stuff is crazy, man. This doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all.
Package, and it comes with $40,000.
Doesn't make any kind of sense.
Starting this week, adults over 40 can get free.
These folks need to be compensated, folks. Justin, welcome in. I see you. Thank you for showing up, son.
Choked up a crowd. Something else as I reflect. If there's anyone who should receive medical benefits due to things one has
yes, this doesn't make sense, folks. At all. We have to stand up to our veterans, folks.
I have no problem issuing law.
Yes, we need to stand up to our veterans out here. I'm all for it. Yes, I'm all for it.
They chose to serve based on their devotion to the country.
Yes.
And if there was a war that was questionable, many had no idea. But that fact that they served, the fact that they served speaks volumes.
Yes, it does speak volumes.
To me, and I'm sure to you as well.
This is what the government does
issue
to our people, man, who go ahead and serve for their country.
The vote went south.
This is what happens.
Comedian Jon Stewart ripping into Republican senators on Wednesday
after they abruptly halted a bipartisan bill that would expand health care access for military veterans exposed to toxic burn pits. The former host of The Daily Show, who now hosts The Problem with Jon Stewart on Apple TV+, has lobbied for the bill. He joins us live now to discuss this. John, thanks so much for coming on. We do appreciate that. I know you're in your car. You have a press conference coming up, I believe, in D.C. at 10:30. What is your message going to be, sir?
The message is going to be that this has to get done. This is abject cruelty. To vote against this bill, it's already passed. We passed it 84-16. There was just a minor technical fix that had to be done on it.
Listen to it well.
84-16, bipartisan. And then yesterday, 42 Republicans decided to vote against moving the amended version forward, but the amendment was only one
These are our
sentence,
veterans,
and it was not a material amendment. And they've created distractions and hypocrisy. I mean, Senator Rick Scott of Florida just yesterday tweeted out, "I'm here at the USO, so honored to provide anything for our troops, and for their heroism and courage." And then a few minutes later, he went on the Senate floor and denied them health care and benefits.
Yeah, this is what's going on, folks. These people
So yeah, that's Jon Stewart.
are crooked, folks.
You go on any social media, he's all over the place. Again, when I did the research, it's just so much going on here. But I'm going to get to some main things that I'm sure you'll be able to see it as we go further. But yeah, I'm hoping that between all parties, this can be hashed out. So let's go to another video. This is on the floor. This is Murphy.
See, a lot of people are talking about this, man. It needs to be talked about.
Let's see what he has to say about it.
We can't just roll over and close a blind eye to this.
The more charitable explanation is that 30 Republicans just changed their mind. That 3 weeks ago they thought it was a good bill, helping veterans was a good idea, and 3 weeks later they decided that it wasn't a good idea.
Do you hear that,
spend
folks?
that money on somebody else instead of our most vulnerable
Do you
veterans.
hear this, folks?
Now that would be pretty fantastic to have 30 members of the Senate change their mind on the merits of a bill, especially a bill that helps veterans.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to explain to these folks.
Country, veterans who are dealing with cancer and respiratory illnesses. The less charitable explanation is this. Republicans are mad
Exactly.
that Democrats are on the verge of passing climate change legislation.
See, they're not worried about the veterans. They're worried about climate change.
Vulnerable veterans.
How foolish.
Now that's deep.
Yes, it is. Very deep.
That's deep. That's what he's thinking. What materialized. It's getting hairy. And it's hard to drill down to the truth. And like he said at the end of this hearing, hopefully we'll all find out what the main reason was. So let me play this last part for you. And then see
Listen to it carefully, folks.
Because it was Senator Toomey, Pat Toomey, who said, hey, pump the brakes.
Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you coming in and listening to this. This needs to be talked about. It needs to be heard, folks.
But then you guys stitched something in it.
Need to be heard.
Like $400 million that had nothing to do with it.
Hey, 99% of people with an IRA or 401k will not see this video.
Let's hear from him.
Bill that he wants to pass, this problem that wasn't in the House version of this bill. The chairman's argument that, well, it's always ultimately subject to appropriations, well, that's really an argument that says let's not have a budget at all. Let's not have any rules, because it's true, a future Congress can always do whatever it wants. So by that logic, we should have no rules, no guidelines, no budgets, no procedures, no pay-go, no effort whatsoever to have any management of our federal budget.
Welcome
because
in,
what the hell,
everybody.
any Congress can come along and just waive it
Welcome in.
I don't agree with that.
Appreciate you all.
I think especially at a time when inflation is running rampant, when we've been spending money like no one's ever imagined. If we've got an important need, okay, we do that. But this gimmick, I mean, the chairman said people are sick and tired of games. I totally agree.
Yeah,
This is
people
one
are
of
tired
those
of games.
games where you've got a bill that's going to pass, and so let's sneak in this change in the budget rules so that it'll be easy to spend money on other things in the future.
Doesn't make sense.
That's
Folks.
ridiculous. That's just not defensible.
It is really ridiculous, folks. Did you hear that?
You hours hard for me to research this thing.
Yes. This stuff is ridiculous, folks.
Which ain't what this reminds me of. Remember that? And Joe Manchin said, because he felt like Senator Pat Toomey saying, y'all done stuck something up in here.
Yes,
Now, I wanna
this is what
confess
they're going
something.
through, folks. A lot of foolishness.
When I first did a
This
video on
doesn't
that,
make no sense, folks. Please, y'all,
he
let's
caught me
stand
by
behind our
surprise
veterans.
too. And I originally
Let's
posted
stand behind them,
in
folks.
error.
We have to
And it
stand
took
up
someone
with our
in the
veterans,
comment
right?
section to get me straight. So I'm still apologizing for that.
Because we're working with some crooked,
But
we're working with some
this
crooked
is not the
people.
first time that questionable legislation has come up. I've always been an advocate of separate bills or similar bills or clarity. Not this last
Yeah,
minute.
folks, this is what they're dealing with, folks. Our veterans, this is the stuff that they're going through out here in this world, folks. The government want to turn their back on these folks. They want to change their mind at the last minute. Come on, man, this doesn't make sense. Yes, folks, we have to stand behind our veterans. Please, folks. Let's stand behind these folks. Whatever we do, let's stand behind them. Yeah, I just wanted to clear that up a little bit and let everybody hear what's going on out here. Because this, you know, you hear what the guy said, the recorder. He said 3 weeks ago they were all right with this. Now, this week, they changed their minds. Have you ever heard anything of that nature? Changing your mind on a decision that could change somebody's life? Come on now. That doesn't sound good to me. That doesn't sound good at all, folks. But this is the type of government that we're dealing with, folks. And the legislators, man, you know, we're dealing with some crooked, wicked folks out here. Very crooked. And we should all care about our veterans, folks. We should be, hey, we should be standing up fighting for these people, man. Yeah, we should be standing up fighting. Yes, we should. We should be standing up fighting for these folks. Yeah, because these veterans, man, they risk their lives. Yeah, they risk their lives, folks. Now look at them. A lot of them, some of them are half dead, man. You know, it doesn't make sense. They're suffering with all type of diseases, man. This is what they're going through, folks. For fighting for their country, this is what they're going to get in return, man. You know, what kind of sense is that? It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make any kind of sense. This is what happened when you go out here and fight for your country. Then you come back on this soil. Then people want to treat you like dirt, man. But did you hear what the reporter said? He said they changed their minds, folks. Who gives them the right to change their minds about somebody else's lifestyle, brothers and sisters, huh? Yeah. I mean, we have, I'm going to tell you something, man. It's like we have no rights in this world, man. It's like everybody out here have more rights than us to make decisions about our lives, man. Yeah, about our lives. They got more to say than we do. We have no say so over anything. Seems that way. We have no more say so, folks. And the way these veterans are being treated, I don't like it, man. Yeah, I don't like it. And you all shouldn't like it either. One thing for sure, these people are going to start picketing now. They're going to stand up for these people. They're going to stand behind these folks, because I think they should stand behind these folks, man. Because these, like I said, a lot of these guys they're suffering with all types of diseases, man. All behind these burn pits. All kind of toxicities is coming out of these burn pits, man. A lot of them ended up with brain cancer, Parkinson's disease, all kind of stuff. They're suffering from all kind of brain damage, respiratory diseases, man. You know, when I go into the VA hospital, it makes me want to cry, man. It really makes me want to cry, man, because it's sad, man, for these people to be treated this way. And like I said, man, it shouldn't be not one homeless veteran on the street. It should not be one. But you see it every day, man. Every freaking day. Sometimes people just get fed up, man. Fed up with this crap that they're doing, man. Yeah, folks, but I thank y'all all for listening. You know, I thank you all for listening. Thank everybody for coming in. Check this out, because this stuff is real, man. And I feel pretty sad and bad for these folks, man. After they went out here and risked their lives, fought for their country. And this is what they have to come back to. This isn't right. It makes me feel bad, man. It makes me feel really bad. Unleashed said the question is who paid them to change their minds. At Unbiased said LLC. He said who paid them to change their minds at the last minute. They unfold at the yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's something to think about. Who paid them? Something happened at the last minute. I agree with you on that one. Yes. Somebody did something at the last minute, because they didn't just up and change their mind. Believe me. They didn't just up and change their mind, folks. No, they didn't just up and change their minds. Something went on or something went down. Like they said 3 weeks ago, they were ready to pass this bill. And at the last minute, they changed their minds. I agree. Unbiased. LLC, I agree with you. I agree with you, brother. Yeah, Franchise. I listen to him every day, man. Yeah, I get a lot of nuggets from him too. A lot of nuggets. Franchise Pearson, smart man. Yeah. Yeah. And the stuff that he talks about, man, is deep. Very deep. But I understand it. And I try to tell a lot of these people a lot of stuff too about what's going on out here in this world. But hey, people don't want to listen, man. You know. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap this one up, folks. I just thought I would let the people know what's going on out here, man. Because this stuff is, it's strange, man, how they just up and change their minds at the last minute. It's something bigger behind it than what we're seeing. Yeah, they just up and change their minds, man, you know. But I thank every one of y'all for coming in. Yep, I want to thank each and every one of you, but it should have been more people in here than this concerning this topic. You know, these are the people who fought for us, man, our country, man. I should have been flooded. My life should have been flooded, folks. Yeah, it should have been flooded. But you know, people don't want to hear what's going on out here. So it is what it is. So with that being said, folks, I'm going to say good day to y'all, and everybody have a great day. Be blessed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia, for doing a great job. Appreciate you. Yep, appreciate you, Cynthia. You did a great job as a moderator. Thanks a lot. See you next time.